We do some trolling.
We do a
We
little bit
do a
of
little
trolling.
trolling here.
Okay, yeah, we're starting.
All right, 3,
We
2.
don't need a countdown, just say it.
Well, it's some messed up because I'm Hispanic and I
Yes,
countdown.
yeah.
Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sons of Liberty. We're back at it again with episode number 20.
Yeah,
Exactly,
the
2-0.
long-awaited
Yes.
10 times 2.
We're
Yeah.
1/5 of the way to 100.
Big brain maths.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We are
You know, you know who
intellectuals.
can't do math?
Me.
Joe Biden.
Joe
Oh,
Biden.
Also Joe Biden, yes.
Joe Biden.
We're going to get to that in a second, but first of all, I think we should mention a couple things. First of all, thank you guys so much for sticking around with us,
Yeah.
all 17 of you,
Exactly.
Gotten this
seriously,
far.
we're really trying to make a start here. We're really trying to, spread our message. And even though we're not really anywhere yet, we still appreciate all of you sticking around, watching us, hearing what we have to say. And even for the people who aren't subscribed, who just sort of, catch our takes, catch our clips, it means a lot to that you're giving us a voice and you're giving us a chance. Another thing is, sorry for not posting anything for a little while. Things have been kind of dicey recently, but we're hopefully trying to get back on a more reasonable schedule, and more SoL content should be coming out at a regular pace.
Yes.
I mean, it's a better schedule than when we started this channel, I'll say that.
Fair, because when we started the channel, we didn't have a schedule.
No schedule at all.
Which, I mean, based, but
Based.
Nah, yeah. And then I guess the last thing is, I don't know. I'm down to keep doing this until the sun explodes. Frankly,
Hell
this
yeah.
is just a really nice, environment where we just get to sort of be honest, and it's also cancel bait.
I mean, hey, it's been a good run. I can't wait for the rest of the ride. Hopefully,
Yeah.
there'll be money ups, but recently, we'll see a lot of downs.
Yeah.
As long as we have one unique viewer, that motivates me to make
Yeah.
content.
And
When you view it down.
when the leftist establishment, when the leftists and the authoritarians get you down, when they try to silence you, use violence against you, or even kill you, just remember this: gamers don't die, we respawn.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Exactly.
With
What
the-
if we're playing
with-
hardcore mode?
Uh,
Uh.
uh,
Anyways, let's go on to our first topic.
our first topic.
Back from the dead to talk about someone who probably should be dead by now. Weekly Joe Biden slam. Let's get into it.
So, I'll give the context as per usual.
As always.
Is there anyone else who would do so?
Yes.
Exactly.
So Joe Biden, he's having a little bit of infighting with the Democrats of his party, particularly the House Democrats and the Senate Democrats. And the reason is because of his infrastructure plan, that he rebranded as the Save America plan. And initially, he came to a bipartisan conclusion that that the bill would be $1.2 trillion. That's with a T.
Ah.
Yes,
Ugh.
and that's with that's with Joe Biden, Joe Manchin, and Kristen Sinema all on board, meaning he has enough votes to pass it through budget reconciliation, but also he has enough votes with 10 Republicans to pass it without the filibuster getting in the way. Now, the House Democrats are like, man, I really dislike Joe Biden's agenda here. Why not spend even more money so we can fuck up our generation even more?
Right. Joe Biden is saying, he's trying to be bipartisan and he's trying to save America. We don't want to save America. We want to send
Exactly.
the ship into the wall.
Exactly, because then we could actually redo America as a communist country. No, they don't say that, but it sort of feels like it, right?
That's the silent part. That's the part they don't want you to hear.
And Joe Biden said that the bill, and I'm not joking, he's now pushing for a $3.5 trillion bill. So he's basically saying, fuck you to those.
Wait, back up. Did you just say $3.5 trillion?
Yes.
Fuck's sakes.
And
now
the
he's-
original bill was 1.2 billion, trillion?
Yes.
No, I said billion, because to me billion is like a lot, and it is a lot. But no, it's trillion. It's
Oh,
Yes.
fuck's sakes.
it's
So
13 zeros. Oh my god.
So he said, fuck you to the 10 Republicans and the 2 Democrats who came onto his side in the name of unity to create this $1.2 trillion bill, and now he's going with the House Democrats with this $3.5 trillion bill.
So fucking much. That's gonna screw us up in the long run.
Of course
Yes.
it is. I look, okay. When you're asking for a bill that is about 3 times as much as the bill that was originally proposed by your party, normally that's kind of a reality check that maybe you're not living in the real world, maybe you're not living in the society, because okay, to sort of express how much money $3.5 trillion is. Okay, you know how leftists are always like, tax the rich, eat the rich, take from the rich, give to the poor, sort of like this sort of utopian Robin Hood-esque kind of ideology. It's a front, right? It's a front for the socialist cause. They don't actually want to help the poor, but whatever, it's what they say. If we were to somehow be able to liquidate, and this is the important part, liquidate all of the net wealth of all of the billionaires and all of the top 1% of America, and all these people that they view as stealing from everybody and being these rich greedy capitalists, right? If you were to liquidate all of that wealth from the private sector, you would get something in the ballpark of $2.8 trillion. That's a lot of money. Seriously, that's a lot of money. And it doesn't even, okay, if with all of that money, you would be able to fulfill Joe Biden's bill without taking anything from the citizens, well, except for the rich citizens, obviously, or increasing the national debt. But you wouldn't be able to fulfill this new bill. I think that's sort of a testament to how far, the House Democrats sort of are in their own delusions. Because, seriously, if you ground up all of the money that, all of these, rich billionaires have, not only just their gross wealth, but, in their stocks, in their shares, and you were able to liquidate it completely without any market devaluing, which, by the way, is impossible, you would not even be able to pay for this infrastructure bill. Oh, and by the way, just as a little cherry on top, with the way that the government is currently running, I believe this statistic was for 2020, so it's probably gotten worse. That $2.8 trillion, you know how long that would run the government?
Not very long.
8 months!
Yeah, that's a
What
problem.
the fuck?
So let's make this even better for our audience. Now, Joe Biden said that this bill, and I'm quoting him directly, will cost $0 to Americans.
What?
Amazing.
Yes.
It's as bad as your math.
Now let me explain this. All right, I have a theory, because there is only one theory in this situation why Joe Biden said that, or I guess technically 2. Number 1 is the obvious one, which is he's delusional, but number 2 is that he recognizes that his own shitty public policy in office is causing inflation to skyrocket so high, in the near future, this bill will cost near $0. Either way, oh shit, fuck. I'm not supposed to say that.
Dude.
It's okay.
It's
It is fucking.
It's too late.
It's too late for us. We're
Yeah.
so far gone.
Bro,
It's amazing.
Okay, we're either gonna get canceled or like we're gonna get canceled. Like that's it. That is the only.
We're
future
already
for us.
canceled. What do you mean?
Are we? Are we?
Bro.
That'd actually be funny as hell. Like SoL is over party. I
Shoot.
want to see that shit. Get that
Trend on
trend.
Twitter.
YouTube doesn't send our freaking videos out there.
Okay,
TikTok
no,
shadow
but-
banned us already.
Bro, that's just like censorship. That's not canceling. Canceling is like done by the people, not by the corporation.
I mean, it's hard to get
That's
canceled when the people don't see you.
Okay, now that's actually a good point. We could actually be immune from canceling by never being relevant in the first place.
Exactly.
Big brain plays. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so this is fucking stupid. The House Democrats have absolutely zero perspective. Joe Biden somehow even has even less perspective. Saying that this bill will cost $0 to the citizens.
Let me explain why he said that in context. Because there's even more shit to add to this, okay? So,
Great.
we have something in the United States called a debt ceiling, right?
Mm,
This debt
amazing.
ceiling has to be raised every so often if Congress, particularly the House, wants to pass more legislation relating to money.
Right. So sort of to clarify, the debt ceiling is essentially a weapon of mass destruction that would completely floor the United States government ability to do anything, created by Congress to sort of bully the president into doing whatever the House wants or like Congress wants.
Well,
And they
yes,
keep raising it because they can, essentially.
yes, but let's add on to this, okay? So, theoretically, and this is from a theoretical perspective, Joe Biden and the House and the Senate could pass this bill right now. However, there's something that they'd have to pass it through named budget reconciliation, meaning, right in the Senate there's a block called the filibuster. So if only 40 senators say let's filibuster this bill, the bill will pass. However, if you do this through budget reconciliation, there is no filibuster, meaning as long as you get 50 votes plus the president of the Senate, which is Kamala Harris, to vote yes, the bill passes. Now, there's a problem with budget reconciliation. It can only be used 3 times a year. And Biden wants to do, his grand thing where he passes even more bills throughout the year, which is why he's saying we need to increase the debt ceiling. And for this bill to even be passed, the $3.5 trillion, we need to increase the debt ceiling because we don't have that type of money. So, what this basically signals to me is that Biden still has more to pass through budget reconciliation, meaning this $3.5 trillion bill, it's just the start, all right?
Fuck.
It's just the tip of the iceberg for this year. For this year.
Okay. Seriously? Okay. Obviously, we all remember the shit that went down in 2016 and 2017.
Yeah.
The fucking, Trump derangement syndrome. I'm borrowing that from a couple very smart people, but, seriously. Basically, a bunch of people that you knew that were, completely sane before, just turned completely mad over Trump because, buzzword, essentially. They didn't have any actual, reasons. They were just saying, he's dividing America! He will not divide us! Then they fucking go to the... who was that fucking loser? He was really relevant before, but now, he's just sort of, constantly woke. Was it Shia LaBeouf? I think it was Shia LaBeouf. He,
was it the guy?
He did the
was
fucking... Yeah, he will not divide us streams.
He did?
I think Internet Historian did, a covering of that. But, okay, seriously. This entire situation is just... with the fucking Trump's derangement syndrome, the reason why it was being deranged, sort of seeing problems that were not there, was because Trump didn't actually do anything that outrageous. I mean, unless you consider trying to ban TikTok outrageous, compared to Joe Biden, who apparently has quite a few reframings of the U.S. dollar coming soon with bills in the trillions of dollars in what his
First year.
Is it still his first year?
Yeah,
Yes.
still his first year.
It's still his first year, and he's doing all of this shit. Oh my god.
So he's insane. No, let's add a little bit. Let's just add something, okay, to make this even more spicy because we're already in the deep end. All right.
Yeah, no, we are in the abyss of the iceberg, but let's go deeper.
So the bill won't actually cost $3.5 trillion, according to the Wall Street Journal, which is a source not on our side. It's a very left-leaning article source.
Very credible.
They say, very credible. They are saying that it'll cost at least $5 to $5.5 trillion dollars via accounting loopholes that the Biden administration is doing.
Dead.
So basically,
Dead.
yeah, basically, Biden is like, okay, this is going to be $3.5 trillion, but we're going to make this, we're going to take the fact sheet and we're going to make it look like it's $3.5 trillion. Oh, did I say that right?
Okay.
You get the idea.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be like a $5.5 trillion bill, but we're going to make it look like a $3.5 trillion bill so everyone doesn't, like naturally...
Ramos.
Yeah, exactly. Which,
Yeah.
of course, $3.5 trillion is outrageous enough, but, okay, to put that back in perspective, do you remember that $2.8 trillion figure of the liquidating all of the rich people's wealth?
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
The fact that you need a little under 2 of those is absolutely insane. You need, like, basically the entire, like, cream of the crop that doesn't even exist. The, like, hypothetical, like, product of all of these, like, rich people that the left absolutely despises for, you know, abusing capitalism to oppress everybody, right? When the government is literally just okay, so they're asking for bills that are magnitudes higher than the money that they have to spend. They're the makers of money, so they just make more money and send the value of that money plunging forever downward. Or they do something arguably worse, which is they just keep taking out loans from other countries and they increase the national debt, which is basically just a looming doomsday scenario basically just waiting to happen. And instead of actually taking accountability for their actions, like an individual would, because it's not their money, both from foreign countries and from the citizens, who neither of which are the government, they're just going to keep spending until either they collapse, a war breaks out, or both. I don't know how anyone hasn't considered this to be more of a serious issue that requires action. Because, you know, everyone's complaining about fucking impulse shit. Like, you know, sort of nonsense things that don't really matter, like race relations that have just been sparked up for absolutely no reason. Or, well, I guess we'll get to it in a little bit, but essentially, we've been so distracted by talking about utter nonsense that doesn't matter that we're completely ignoring the looming threat, which normally leftists would say is climate change, and yes, but more important and more looming than that is the fucking national debt and everything that relates to that.
Yep.
It's just, God.
The Democrats have gone so far out the fucking wazoo, they might as well peg their fathers. It's insane.
What?
That's what I'm saying. It's an outrageous statement.
Aha, okay. I think you just really wanted to say that and you were coming up with any excuse. Anyways.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the fucking, like, the clown world that we are living in.
Yep.
When it comes to Joe Biden and this absolutely giga-brain bill that was originally going to be, and no one forget this, 1.2 trillion, and now it's going to be 5.5 trillion. And I am not even surprised. I'm really not.
And we're not even done with Biden this week, all right?
Oh, we're not. Oh, we're
Yeah.
It's not even half of the shit he did.
Okay, so let's move on to another Biden fuck up. And it's not. I guess it's not a fuck up. It's actually what he believes. Biden was asked, all right, so at what point does the coronavirus pandemic end in your eyes, right? At what point can Americans just go back to everyday life and we can just forget about, masking up and whatever else that comes with
Yeah,
coronavirus?
yeah, yeah.
And he said
2 weeks.
at 97 to 98% of vaccination.
What? That's
Aw.
so extreme. Like, why would you need 97 to 98? That sounds so stupid to me.
Right.
And you know what's also funny about where this is being recorded? That was actually a set made only for that press conference.
Bruh.
Yep. And that was while he was getting the booster shot. So remember the whole debacle with Biden saying like, I'm pushing for booster shots to be approved in America for everyone because after 6 months of getting your second dose, it's a less effective, even though he has no data to back him up. And then the CDC, which is basically America's like FDA, but for advice regarding the coronavirus at this point.
Right, and it's basically just a puppet organization now, sadly.
Well, they actually did something interesting here. They said, no, Biden, you're partially right. Okay? So people under 60 or people without severe health conditions should not get the booster shot because we just don't know what's going to happen.
But, like, that's just going to change.
Sure, but, I mean, at least they said something, right? This is a start.
Hog.
And so now, if you're over the age of 60 or if you have severe health conditions, you can get a booster shot if you please. Yeah, that's it. So it's great.
Yeah, this is great because, 97 to 98% of people being vaccinated against, the coronavirus is definitely a good goal to have, but it should not be the benchmark to entry for reopening the country because, we're still locked down. We still have to, I mean, things are slowly opening up, but I mean, honestly, I don't even know what is and isn't open anymore. We're still having to wear masks. We all have to be, fully vaccinated and show off our vaccination, essentially passports, like on our phones and shit. And I predicted this shit. I told you that it was gonna be tyranny and that we were gonna have to prove that we were vaccinated and that everyone was gonna go with it to quote unquote get it over with. But it's never gonna be over. It's never going to be over until we actually do something about this. And, honestly, the government is just really, they're just absolutely abusing the pandemic. Not even really the pandemic. Pandemic's over. Okay? Pandemic was over last October. Well, okay, and then it kind of came back. But pandemic was over in January. Okay? What's happening now is a government-mandated lockdown. And the lockdown is easing up in a literal sense, but it's not in every other way. In the restriction of freedoms in return for safety. Because that's the devil's deal. That's what the government wants the populace to give up. Because as soon as freedoms are given up, their accountability is too. And they can do whatever the hell they want. Now, what happens in these societies? There's two options. Either A, the government becomes tyrannical, or B, the government fucking collapses. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if both happen. I really wouldn't. Because the way that things are projected right now, if people are not willing to stand up for their own rights and their own liberty, to not be essentially like forced into and mandated into doing something with their bodies that they do not want to do, if they give up that freedom, then that will signal to the government that those same people are willing to give up more freedoms, and they'll phrase it as just doing the right thing, as keeping people safe. If it saves one life, and that if you disagree, that you're anti-science, that you're a science denier. This is the shit that we've been covering for like all of these episodes since COVID began, which was a lot of our episodes. And it really just does feel like, well, not even a lot of our episodes. All of our episodes have been, in some way related to COVID because we started in, the heat of the second lockdown. And seriously, this is just never going to end unless we do something about it. But anyways, let's get back to... So yeah, 97 to 98%. That is an incredibly
Unachievable.
Unachievable, but also just like straight up foolish benchmark.
Right. And look, 97 to 98%, sure, that might sound okay, right? That's a good thing.
That's a good
But
thing.
You also have to think about, number one, the people that don't want to get the vaccine, but number two, the people that literally cannot get the vaccine because of some religious reason or due to some medical condition.
Yeah, like being pregnant.
Right. And by the way, I think the FDA doesn't recognize that as a legitimate reason.
It doesn't?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I guess in my own view, if they don't believe that's a legitimate reason, I still think if you're pregnant, probably don't take the vaccine just in case.
Well, yeah, because, the process of being, pregnant and the way that changes, a woman's body, for the 9 months that they are, gestating a human fetus.
Right. So the CDC recommends that so I'll read whatever they're saying. Yes, COVID-19 vaccination is recommended for all people 12 years and older, including people who are pregnant, breastfeeding, trying to get pregnant now, or might become pregnant in the future.
Really?
So yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Well, I just remember, I believe from, was it 2 episodes ago, where we were like, we were clowning on fully vaccinated Tom Lakey's. One of his things was there was this woman who couldn't get vaccinated because she was pregnant. At least, that's what was reported. And, she died with her unborn baby because, I believe, of COVID. And Lakey's just absolutely clowned on her. And, we were talking about how horrible that was, but I guess my assumption from that point was there's some complication with the process of being pregnant that taking the vaccine either makes it significantly worse or just impractical in general. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of new ways to combat COVID, better ways, if I do say, Stanford and University of North Carolina has developed this brilliant idea of a 3D printed vaccine patch that has micro needles that inserts any type of vaccine to your body.
Wait,
and it
what?
actually is more effective than the actual vaccine, and you can do it yourself. It completely removes the people and you going to a place to have it injected. You can legit do it at your own home, the comfort of your own home.
You're kidding.
I know. I sure hope not.
Okay. Well, wow, I'm reading the article. If this really is true, and I'm not one to disbelieve that, to not believe that, if this is true, if this is true that there's this vaccine patch that citizens could purchase or even just acquire on their own accord, rather than having to, have it administered by a trained medical professional. This might actually really open up things for the vaccine. I know that I was sort of, railing on the vaccine and this sort of crazy standard. But if these vaccines are actually more effective than the injection vaccines, which I also, believe, this would definitely change things. I still do not believe that it is in any way okay for there to be a government mandate of even this type of vaccine, even if it is more convenient. But it is, at the very least, more promising that becoming vaccinated will be an easier choice. And as long as it remains a choice, I'm all for it. I mean, you say that it's 3D printed, right? Well,
yes.
That would mean that there is a file, or possibly a group of files. I'm not really versed on the complexities of 3D printing, but that the sort of the recipe for a COVID vaccine patch could become open source. That would be a really good thing. if people could distribute their own vaccine patches on their own accord, if they were able to get the right materials and a sophisticated 3D printer. This would seriously allow for the private sector to sort of run with the evolution of the COVID virus in a way that really gives the power back to the people. And I know this probably isn't going to happen because governments love their power. We were literally just talking about that. But, I mean, it does open doors. I'm happy that this development is being made, and I hope that it keeps being worked on. The good people of the University of North Carolina.
Well,
And
that's
Stanford.
that's also not the only piece of good news regarding the COVID-19 pandemic.
Wait, there's more?
What? There's more. No.
No,
You're
there
lying.
is more.
You're kidding. I'm so
No.
used to bad news. What else?
This is actually very big if this gets approved. So Merck, which is a big pharma company,
Ew.
announced that through their own testing, their COVID-19 pill reduces hospitalization and death by 50%.
No,
Yeah.
you're joking.
No, I'm serious.
Mm.
So, if this pill gets approved and if their studies are confirmed to be accurate, this means that hopefully less people will die
Yes.
and the rate of transmission will be lower.
Yeah. Okay. Frankly, I'm less thrilled about the pill than I am about the vaccine patch, but both are very exciting developments.
Right?
And
To be fair, the pill is not, it's not to reduce the like how many people get the coronavirus. It is to help people who do have the virus and maybe they have a breakthrough case, or if just for people that are unvaccinated. So either way, this is a good development.
it's less of a vaccine and more of a treatment, which
Yes.
frankly I do believe that we should be, if the vaccine really is this ineffectual solution that really just seems to be more of a temporary fix rather than a long-lasting fix that like a vaccine for most viruses, then maybe we should be treating them less as vaccines and more like treatments, which shouldn't be given the same sort of status as normal vaccines, which you take once, maybe twice, and then never again.
Yep.
So, maybe a little bit of recontextualization of what the vaccine is meant to be could really help citizens who are skeptical of the government, and rightfully so, some closure on what the vaccine will actually do for you.
Now, speaking of some breaking news,
How is that breaking? Oh, whatever.
because it just
Well,
they announced this on Friday, which was a couple days ago.
Okay. You gotta work
October
in your
1st,
segues, man.
2021. Anyways.
Yes. So, do you guys know who Grimes is?
Nah.
No.
Grimes is Elon Musk's ex-partner, excuse me. All right. So Elon Musk said that they're semi-separated now. They just had a child. Remember what was
Mhm.
it? X-12, whatever they named it.
Ah, great.
Yes. So if you
Okay.
guys direct yourself to the Sons of Liberty chat, you will see that Grimes was spotted walking outside, reading, and I can't shit you, a Karl Marx book titled The Communist Manifesto, which is a book Karl Marx wrote. Now,
Bro, everybody knows about the Communist Manifesto.
Bro, that's my favorite book.
Yo, ban. Goodbye.
oh,
Banned.
that's gonna screw up the format, but yeah.
Yeah, banned.
You actually banned him?
Yep.
Oh no, you
banned.
just kicked him.
Banned.
Okay.
Banned.
Whew.
Is he actually gonna join back, or?
By the way, this story gets better.
Okay, but like he needs to join back.
Alright, now he's back.
No, I'm not back.
Alright, so to continue, Grimes, who dated Elon Musk and buried his child. Elon Musk, right? This guy's worth $180 billion. Grimes is a successful music artist
Mm-hmm.
that's worth millions of dollars. So I find it ironic that Grimes, who's been living in this life of luxury, is now reading a book by Karl Marx about communism. It's amazing.
I mean, maybe she's just informing herself of other political ideas, and
Sure. She's arming herself as she's reading them on the street, posing for cameras. Perhaps.
I mean, what if she's not posing? What if they just caught her like that?
Yeah. True.
Or she's fake reading it just to stir up the pot and get her more attraction towards her music or something that's coming up.
Perhaps.
Or maybe Elon Musk cut her off from her life, and she wants to pull off the stunt so that Elon Musk calls her and sees what's up. I don't know.
That is very possible, but something tells me that if nothing else, this might just be like a little bit of couple beef. Like, because, obviously, Elon Musk is a very successful entrepreneur.
Yes.
One of the shining examples of capitalism in the modern day.
One of the brightest minds of our generation as well.
Well, I think those two somewhat go hand in hand. But I guess, my point is, it's like, like, okay. So, I'm like trying to articulate my next point. Okay, so
Oh my gosh, we're gonna be for hours.
just cut it out in recording. All right, so right, Elon Musk, right, is obviously this like very successful, like capitalist.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when they were together, I'm assuming that she was, at the very least, fine with that, right? But now that they're separate, or semi-separate, as Musk puts it, which, is clearly just cope, something tells me that in response, she is turning to communism as sort of just completely out of spite. Like, for complete personal spite of one of this very successful entrepreneur who sort of symbolizes the greatness of capitalism, to her is just per X, and therefore capitalism sort of signifies one of the people in her life that are just not there anymore, and so she wants to abandon capitalism, and that's why she's reading Marx. I don't know. It's a little bit of a stretch, but you can never really be sure.
By the way, she's worth $3 million.
Oh, no.
Only?
What? That's a lot of fucking money.
Come on, did you not see Biden's freaking?
Oh yeah, compared to Biden, it's nothing.
It's nothing. Come on.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? Being worth a lot of money and being a communist, honestly, it goes hand in hand. Like,
it's ironic, though.
Of course it's ironic, but communists don't understand irony. Oh, well,
yeah.
No, they understand cynicism, and they think cynicism is irony, but no, they don't really understand.
I mean, it's kind of like AOC when she went to the Met Gala with her dresses as Tax the Rich, while she's going to the Met Gala, which costs like what, 40 grand a ticket.
Oh, that's some good old irony.
Yep. By the way, a party filled with multi-millionaires, some billionaires, just amazing. And they're all like laughing about it, taking pictures with her. Yeah.
I guess you can say she's the real imposter.
She's the sussy baka.
Among Us!
You guys remember when she streamed Among Us with Pokemon?
Hell yeah, bro.
Oh my god, she's so hip.
Hip with the kids.
AOC is so hip. Okay, let's get back to our topic. I think we're getting on a lot of sidetracks.
We had a topic there.
I know, right?
It's just a breaking announcement, so.
Okay, so that was like that was a tangent. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing we need to talk about is back to Biden. So
it's technically not Biden. It's Gavin Newsom, which is Gavin.
What's the difference? What's the difference? They're two stupid men.
Two stupid men. Except one probably isn't developing dementia, and one already has dementia.
Yeah. bro, Joe Biden really do be listening to Everywhere at the End of Time at all times.
Yep.
Bro,
He's actually one of our unique viewers.
So, alright, I'll give some context. Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California.
Wait, really?
I believe we've touched on Gavin Newsom a lot.
Yes, we have. He's
But what are the new viewers, Chao? Come on,
Yeah,
they
you're
have some
right. What if they
content.
live under rocks?
New viewers. Welcome to the Sons of Liberty channel. We talk about
Subscribe down
politics.
below.
Also, check out our Spotify.
Also, we're all racist. I mean,
Wait. No, we're not.
never.
Anyways, go on with Gavin Pusum.
Gavin Mussolini.
Gavin Mussolini.
He announced on Friday, which was 2 days ago or a day ago, where basically saying that once the Pfizer vaccine gets approved, fully approved, because right now it's approved for emergency use for minors, which is basically 12 to 17 or 12 to 15, he will impose a vaccine mandate for children from 7th grade until 12th grade, which is just amazing.
So they're just stripping away more of our rights?
More freedom.
I mean,
just
think about
tyranny.
They already mandated the vaccines for college students going to California, and they have until October 8th to get vaccinated. If not, they cannot go to school.
Okay, but to be fair, college kids are already vaccinated because college.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you go to fucking Harvard. You think there's anyone on that campus
Yes.
that, like, isn't vaccinated and still has friends?
Yes.
Okay, it still has friends. Maybe a stretch.
I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on it either. I mean, maybe.
No, I would count. I would put $100 on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a betting man, so I won't say anything. But yeah.
No, it sounds like you're a betting man. Anyways, back to Gavin Shitsum. All right.
Yeah.
This is just so stupid.
I mean, it is, right? Look, I'm not going to be that guy to say it, but there's a reason why it's under emergency authorization right now, right? We just don't know the effects on children as of right now.
What?
And
are you being a science denier? Are you being a science denier?
Of course I am, bro. Because if you have one disagreement with the CDC's recommendation, you are a science denier.
Obviously. Because the CDC is obviously the science.
It is the science.
CDC is CEO of science.
By the way, the CDC at one point was in bed with the WHO, World Health Organization, which was in bed with China, advising that we don't do any investigations into the origin of the coronavirus. I wonder why.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah. So they're obviously not biased, right? They're trusted sources of science.
Never.
Yeah.
No, you know what? The truth is the game was rigged from the start.
I mean, you're not wrong. Anyways, Newsom, yeah. This will probably take into effect either in January or July because he's only going to impose the mandate once it gets fully approved. So yeah, that's all there. I mean, we obviously think it's pretty bad.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom, cringe.
Yeah, cringe. All right, next topic.
No.
Back to. What do you mean no?
No,
Biden.
No more new. Just old.
Oh,
just old.
Yeah.
There is nothing new about Joe Biden. Let's talk about.
We're going back to our favorite, old grandpa, old dementia.
Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe.
So, Biden was at a national congressional baseball game, and guess what? He got booed when he was introduced. What a surprise! People are regretting to vote for him. Wonder why?
I mean, it couldn't have been any of his policies. Joe Biden is such a forward-thinking leader.
No, it would never.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was sort of a leading pattern. Like we were talking about it a couple episodes ago. Whenever Biden shows up to a place or is mentioned at all, weirdly around stadiums, he's just booed. And it's a sight to see. It really is. I
mean, y'all remember the "fuck you Biden" chant?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck you Biden. It was amazing.
And let's mention something. So he was booed at the congressional baseball game, which is something that happens pretty often. And it's in D.C., so obviously not a very Republican stronghold.
Yeah. National Stadium, they say.
Yep.
The best president ever be elected, they say.
And let's mention something else. Republicans won the congressional baseball game.
Oh yeah,
And
because
I
we're just
think,
built different.
yeah, it was either 12-13 or
And of course,
13-14.
by
one or the
built
other.
different, you mean built at all.
And let's mention something. A Republican actually got a home run hit. So
It's not
meaning
hard.
meaning he actually hit the baseball all the way into the into the people's hands, right? You know
Do you
when that happens.
seriously think that our viewers are fat people just sitting on their desk playing Fortnite all day?
Yes!
Do you seriously not think that
Yes!
they know anything about
Yes!
baseball or like the
Yes!
basics of a home run?
Okay, no, but think about this, okay? They're watching political content, and it's not on CNN.
I mean, yeah.
So, like, by definition, like, they're not going outside. Like, come on.
Anyways,
I
that
mean,
was the
I'm sorry, viewers. I'm sorry. It's the truth. You need to get over it. Believe me, I did a long time ago. Let's.
Dang, viewers, you just got called fat retards by Chao.
Don't worry, I'm a fat retard too. It's okay.
so that was the first congressperson to do that in the past 40 years.
40?
40, 40.
Are you serious? Are they that much of weak motherfuckers that they can't do that?
And it was a freshman congressperson from Florida. So yeah.
Oh, well, who else but Florida, I guess.
Yep.
Florida moment.
I mean, hey, they making records.
I know. It's always Florida man does this, Florida man does that. Bro, what about California man, man?
The gas price is too high. He can't make it.
Okay.
Well.
Okay. That is good. Speaking
Yeah.
of states filled with clowns, we have California, we have Florida. Let's talk about Texas again.
Amazing. We love talking about Texas. You guys remember last episode?
Texas is the best state. I mean,
it's one of the better states.
honestly, it is.
I mean, hey, all of the Californians keep on moving over there, so
Yeah, so it's getting worse, but it's still
Exactly.
not bad. It's still not bad.
It's not that common. Yeah. So, if you don't know, Texas has a border issue because of Joe Biden basically allowing the illegal immigrants from Mexico and the illegal immigrants entering Mexico who want to enter the United States. It's weird.
Ooh.
He's allowing them to enter America scot-free, right? He's just saying, okay, border open, go now. I can't speak because I have dementia. All right.
Yes,
And
because that's obviously what Joe Biden sounds like.
yeah. That
Yeah.
sounds exact perfect impression, KYKA, the best impression I've ever heard.
you know, if I don't toot my own horn, I feel like Joe Biden still can't make coherent sentences. I feel like my sentence was just a little bit more coherent. The words actually sort of made sense together.
Yeah,
Biden just sort
like,
of says shit, and
yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
yeah.
Anyways, if you don't know, the Texas Border Patrol agents are accused of whipping Haitian migrants at the border. So we'll
That's
just show
a
up
pretty
a couple.
big claim.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll show up
it-
some images on the screen.
they're not whipping him. And I also heard some alleged, like, people were saying that the horses were also hitting them. No, they're not. They're
The
not.
fuck?
So, yeah. So
Horses are trained to disperse crowds, not to hit human beings. They're not trained to do that, nor are the people riding them trained to do that, to use them as such. So, no.
So these border patrol agents, they're on horseback, and they have these whips that they use on the horses to direct them where they need to go.
Right.
And the border patrol agents are accused of whipping the migrants, pretty much.
Right. So the fact that they have whips is therefore proof that they're whipping the migrants.
Yeah. And to prove that they're not whipping the migrants, we have footage that will be playing on screen now.
All right.
I mean, it looks like the guy's just grabbing his shirt. There's only one instance I really see that he's whipping.
I mean, it's a stretch, right?
And even
Like,
that,
yeah.
I mean, even if you go to the absolute worst case scenario, which is they are being whipped, I mean, Wait, what? Fuck. Okay. Fuck.
Is it
Joe
just
Biden
me?
moment.
Is it just me, or the guy that supposedly is getting whipped is like smiling? Is it just
Yeah,
me?
I don't know. I don't know if you would be smiling when you're getting whipped. No, he's like, just you wait. This is gonna be posted on Twitter one day.
Or
You're
he's
gonna
just kinky like that?
Yo,
Yo.
I thought we were not being sus on this channel.
Maybe that's his kink, you know?
Bro,
He
what
likes
if-
men
Bro!
dressing up as border patrol agents on horseback with whips. I mean, I don't know. I'm not judging him.
I mean, of course we have to be very understanding and considerate of our LGBTQ illegal migrant brethren.
Or LGBTQ illegal immigrants from Haiti.
Latinx.
Or,
Latinx.
Latinx.
No, we're not going this another. We're not doing
By
a
the
fourth
way-
episode on Latinx.
Let's
No.
speak of Latinx because this is actually a
No.
funny topic.
We're-
Let's do it. Come
No.
on, come on.
Okay,
We have
yeah,
to.
no.
It's too late.
that.
Oh my gosh, I hate you guys so
Okay.
much. This is my least favorite topic because it's the stupidest topic ever.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's what's
so-
funny.
Scroll down to point 16.
Ah, pain.
Okay. And let's make this clear. So, the Democrats' Twitter account,
Yeah.
it's, what is it called? What is their Twitter account? It's called literally the Democrats. They released
yeah.
a video titled Latinx Americans shared what representation in the Biden-Harris administration means to them. Now, the interesting part is every Latinx person in that video used the word Latino.
It's so valuable to have someone that looks like us, that represents our Latino values.
These Latino leaders are changing the world.
President Joe Biden cares about Latino families.
It represents their Latino values.
Yeah, and also, they say it's so valuable to have someone that looks like us. Wow, okay. Didn't know that all of these, Latinx Americans, were so, judgmental and discriminatory based on race. I can't believe that they would be so privileged.
Yeah, they would hate if they had a black president. Oh wait.
By the way, Alejandro Mayorkas, which is the guy that they're talking about, looks like the whitest Hispanic I've seen in a while.
I thought they're
Alright,
talking
so,
about Dr. Miguel Card. Oh no, that's the person they're interviewing. Never mind.
yeah, so just amazing. And by the way, Spanish people are white, so this makes sense. But they're saying just based on how he looks like, they can relate to him, which is kind of weird. But all right,
Yeah,
I mean, hey, I've seen a lot of white Hispanics. You cannot
Yeah.
say, like, just because don't look dark or don't look does not mean they're not Hispanic. Trust me.
yeah, I know.
Now, if they have Down syndrome, they think it's Latinx. If they're really smart, like big brain me, it's Latino. So screw off a middle finger to those people who think Latinx is actually a real thing.
no!
And check this middle
it's
finger and shove up your
real.
ass.
It's real!
Chao, you trying to get my nerve? I'll go. I'll flip you off. Anyways,
Bruh.
that's
Yeah.
all I have to say to this. No more. No more of this topic.
Yeah.
Next topic, please. This is a
So,
horrible topic.
Let's go back to the border.
Nice one.
And so Jen Psaki, which is the White House press secretary, said that the border patrol agents in the region where there's a lot of Haitian migrants will not be using horses anymore due to the suspected abuse. Just amazing at this point. Also, something Psaki said is the Taliban are businesslike and professional. Now, let me direct your attention to something the Taliban said. A Taliban spokesperson said, and I'm quoting him directly, cutting off hands is very necessary for security. So, very professional-like people. I don't know a single person that is more professional-like than the Taliban. I mean, it just makes sense to me, right?
Yeah, very professional.
Yes. With bumper cars and all that, and the
Yeah.
gym, so
Yes,
professional.
Yeah.
Business-like when they, sell women to sex slavedom, right? So people
Yeah.
can have that feeling of imprisonment. Super business-like.
Yeah.
So businesslike that they're beating women on the streets in front of children.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
That
it's
is,
We should do
transactional.
that
we
is-
should do that in America.
that is good branding.
Mm.
Yes.
We should do that.
No. Okay. So, Chao, I think you should take the next one.
Oh. What's our? Oh.
Daniel Hale.
Oh, Daniel Hale. Oh yeah, I remember this. Okay, so. Hello everyone. You all know me as this fucking radical, absolute insane, free speech absolutist and defender of the people. Libertarian sort of, U.S. libertarian capitalist kind of guy. But I don't know if you've ever known me like this. You probably have, because I've been doing this for a long while with the other SoL members. It's time for the weekly King Chao rant. It happens every week, but we haven't given it a name. Now it has a name. The Biden administration is trying to seek a 9-year sentence for Daniel Hale. Why does that matter? Don't worry, we'll get into it. Okay, so let's start with some context. Okay, so Daniel Hale was leaking classified information, quote unquote, about the U.S.'s targeted assassination program with their drones. And of course, there's a meme of Obama with drone sniping in some random Middle Eastern country. It kind of changes every time. Sometimes it's Afghanistan, sometimes it's Saudi Arabia, but whatever. That's sort of the meme. But the truth is, this has been going on for a little while, and it seems to be somewhat bipartisan, although the left does it a lot more. But the important part is, Daniel Hale was exposing what the U.S. has been doing with their drones, and has been classified as a drone whistleblower. And the Biden administration, not happy that their secrets are being absolutely revealed to the public for the good of the public, they're sentencing him to a 9-year sentence in prison. And of course, it's on bogus charges. I mean, what did he do wrong? Seriously, what did he do wrong? And apparently, it's getting worse, because originally it wasn't 9 years, it was 45 months, which still bad, but 9 years is way worse. What? I know that we're constantly clowning on Biden for everything that he does, but I don't even know if this was Biden's action specifically. This was the action of his administration. And seriously, this is so sad, because they're literally just making up charges in order to arrest this man that has done nothing wrong other than tell the public what the government has been really doing and holding them accountable for their actions. It's like what I said in the beginning of the episode. The government absolutely despises accountability. That's why they want to take your freedom. If you're not free, then that you don't have the ability to call the government out when they do something that you don't like, or that you find immoral, or that everyone finds immoral, or is just objectively a terrible thing. And the shit that's going on with the drone strikes, situation in the Middle East is complicated. I acknowledge that, and the surrounding countries, the things with Afghanistan, but seriously, having that information out there to the public isn't treason. It's not going against the will of the country. It's doing a public service, and he's going to prison for that. How is that fair? How is that right? Anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know how to transition away from that.
Is there anything else that I should have said?
I think you said everything.
Bueno.
Yeah.
Speaking of not bueno, let's go to the House Democrats. KYKA, take it away.
So,
well, okay, that's for context. We've already started talking about House Democrats when we're clowning on Biden, but this is specifically about some of the wacky things that they've been doing outside of the whole Biden administration thing. So we're gonna start talking about that.
So, initially, House Democrats wanted to strike down a bill that continued funding for the Iron Dome initiative in Israel. If you don't know what the Iron Dome initiative is, it's a purely defensive mechanism that protects Israel from bombings from other countries. And House Democrats want to stop funding. Also, let's mention something. Uh, the Iron Dome initiative was developed by the US and was expected to be somewhat funded in part by the US. AOC was big sad when she realized that we need this bill to pass because this is, a purely defensive mechanism, but this doesn't fit in her narrative that Israel is really horrible and Palestine is the innocent. And over I think it was a week ago, Palestine actually condemned the U.S.'s action to provide funding for Israel's defense. Like literally, this is not a offensive initiative in any way possible. It's not like the Iron Dome can be used offensively. It's purely defensive. And Palestine was like, you know what? We're going to condemn the U.S. for making sure that we cannot bomb Israel. Like, why can't we just bomb Israel and the U.S. cannot interfere? Was that so much to ask for? And that's where we're at right now.
Aw, poor Palestine. They just want to bomb the shit out of Israel.
Shit,
Yeah,
they just want to kill some Jews. Wait a minute, that sounds like someone.
That sounds like someone in the 1930s and 40s. I'm forgetting the name.
Yeah, it starts with
evil mustache man.
Yeah, wait, Trump?
It rhymes. It sounds like Joe Biden.
Biden?
Or any of the Muslim representatives in Congress.
Yeah. Wait, was this person big?
Yeah.
Wait, was he like symbolized with like a reddish orange type symbol?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's Trump!
What? Yo!
We just found it out.
Everyone I don't like is literally Hitler.
Anyways.
Just amazing, by the way.
Okay, but anyways,
defense bad.
yeah,
Amazing.
So, also I just wanted to just say there for a second, that whole thing about the King Chao rant, that was bullshit. This is just kind of my thing. So the weekly King Chao rant canceled because everything I say is a rant. But basically, this is absolute fucking bullshit.
Comedy.
Okay, so I mentioned this, I believe, before on the podcast, but I do want to mention it again when it comes to the thing with Israel and Palestine. And it is that on some level, Israel and Palestine are in a serious conflict because, it has to do with, both of their religious ideals, and they've been in this struggle for a really long time. The Israelis believe that they should have the right to exist, and Palestine believes that they are encroaching on their holy land, and that they should not have the right to exist. And so on that level, Israel of course is willing to defend itself, and has, as we mentioned previously with the Ben and Jerry situation, has actually started taking back some of their original territory because it's been a push and pull. But of course, all of the leftists' outlets are just absolute NPCs. They're absolute droids, and they're just blindly supporting Palestine. They're saying, Israel is colonizing Palestine, and everyone I don't like is literally Hitler. That's what I was saying before. So, I guess the only way to sort of describe a lot of the issues when it comes to the situation in the Middle East is this little handy phrase that I picked up a little while ago, and I think a lot of you should use this when you're considering the situation in the Middle East. And it goes like this: the only way to tell which of the sides is more moral and more just, because neither of them are purely good or purely evil. It's a nuanced issue, but if you want to look at it like this, if Israel stops fighting. Wait, no, fuck, it's the other way around. Cut this out. Okay. If Palestine puts down their weapons, there will be peace. If Israel puts down their weapons, there won't be a fucking Israel. That's sort of like the big thing, like when it comes to sort of understanding the crisis in the Middle East. I'm not necessarily in support of Israel just inherently, but something seriously bad is going to happen if Palestine is just allowed to continue to operate as normal with the bombings. And, this is why Israel has the Iron Dome initiative. And I think the U.S. government aiding with that sort of system, which is purely based for defense and only serves to stop people from being fucking killed, I believe is a moral good. Even if the struggle with Israel and Palestine isn't that simple to divulge, I do think that stopping people from being killed is objectively a good thing. And so, the Iron Dome is objectively a good thing. Stops people from dying, and if you disagree, and you think that Palestine should just be allowed to bomb Israel, for whatever reason, that's kind of a scummy thing to say. I'd say that's kind of a scummy thing to believe in. But you know what? Whatever.
Yeah, what do we know?
What do we know? We're just some kids with OBS and microphones, and we're just talking about shit that we don't matter because we're not as well versed as all of these rich, influential intellectuals working at BuzzFeed, CNN, Twitter, BBC. Ooh, I love some
Big
BBC
black.
But anyways, yeah, so, this entire situation with fucking Israel and Palestine, if Israel is allowed to exist and Palestine, stops fighting them, eventually there would be peace. If Israel drops their weapons, but Palestine keeps their effort up, they're not going to eventually work it out. Israel's just going to be gone. And a lot of people are going to die in the process. And I don't think that's right. So,
Dude, what do you mean? Democrats love death. Have you seen Afghanistan?
Bro, not only do they love death, they hate Jews. Remember, we've talked about this before.
We knew this was start.
Being anything related to Marx sort of inherently implicates you with Marx's theory on the Jewish question, which we've mentioned before on the podcast. And it is literally just Marx talking about how much he hates Jews in a very similar way to another person that leftists usually compare other people to. I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah, it's weird. It always slips the tongue. It's weird.
Is it Joe Bitler?
No, it's like Adolf or something.
Adolfo? Adolfo?
Yeah, I think it's Adolfo. Yeah.
Adolfo, yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of killings, let's talk about what else the Democrats did.
God, we are just a Democrat clowning machine.
Exactly. KYKA, take it away.
Okay, I didn't know if you were gonna do it, but
no, you want? I don't want.
You want to do it?
Alright, I got this, guys.
All right.
A rare thing. I'm doing a topic. Alright. Now, in the House, they voted on a bill, right, to ensure abortion access is guaranteed through the entire 9 months. Not the first, couple weeks, the entire 9 months. So, basically throwing the word murder out the window and making it legal throughout that 9-month period. So, literally, 5 minutes before the baby is exited out of its chamber, or whatever you want to call it, it can legit be killed. And the mother would not be charged with anything with this bill. It's kind of funny. And guess what? 218 Democrats voted yay. One smart Democrat voted nay. 210 Republicans obviously voted nay. And then one Democrat voted NV, which KYKA will say what it means. NV.
Well, that doesn't matter. All right.
No, it does matter. Because guess what? It does matter.
Basically,
Because those
it's a no
people
vote.
could have said no. I mean, they got enough votes for it to pass.
Yes,
because-
it's a no vote, by the way. That's what it means.
Thank you.
Anyways, so the bill basically allows, as Sunnyhawkeye said, unlimited abortion until the child's born. So, literally, if you're 5 months or 5 minutes due and you decide to have an abortion, you could do that. That is your prerogative. But I don't think the bill has passed the Senate, thankfully. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
And I think this whole argue with abortion is, there is genuinely an argument to be made that even if abortion isn't moral, that it on some degree, to some amount, shouldn't be like banned from the government. Like there's this sort of appeal to choice, my body, my choice, whatever. But there is a limit. There must inherently be a limit where at some point it's not you anymore. It's a person. It's about to be a person. And at that point, yeah, you're killing a person. You're killing a person to be, and it can experience you killing them. And at that point, I think that's literally just murder. That's literally just murder, and you cannot get around that with mental gymnastics unless you consciously want to get away with murder. And not just murder, baby murder. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Remember when Democrats were saying abortion would be safe, legal, and rare? Well, that's out the window.
Yeah.
Rare? No,
Okay.
it's not rare.
Okay, honestly, the reason why this bill is fucked is because if you decide to have an abortion like 10 minutes before the baby is due, you're fine. But if when the baby pops out of you, you decide you don't want it, and a doctor pulls out like a fucking deagle and just pops it in the head, right? That's
Crick's
murder.
90s on him.
Okay, but like seriously, again, like how? Okay, the difference between the baby being out of the womb and being 10 minutes from being out of the womb is basically zero. We're talking about a baby being 99.999% complete and a baby being 100% complete. That is somehow the distinction that makes it a life versus a mindless blob of cells that wouldn't mind if it lived or died. Like, what? It's
It's fucked up.
It is fucked.
Democrats have absolutely zero perspective on what this would actually entail and what it means, because all they care about is pushing their empowerment narrative.
Yep.
I know a way where I put it in a bit, like, to get them to understand. Democrats, think of it like this. This is a future voter that could vote for you. You're killing off a voter.
Yo, but like, what if they vote for Trump?
Yeah, we have to kill them all, just in case.
Yeah, like we have to kill all of the white babies, so only the BIPOC, beautiful, indigenous black people of color, BIPOC, only they will have babies. That's not eugenics.
The ironic part about that is more black children in New York are being aborted than born.
Oh, that's irony.
Oh, that is.
So, just supporting the black community in every way possible. That's the Democrats.
Yeah. Bro, I can't believe that the Democrats have found a way to be eugenicists in both ways at the same time.
Both their arguments don't make sense.
And both lead to more white and black babies being aborted. Speaking of people.
Speaking of stupid ideas.
Speaking of time, let's talk about something that takes up time.
No. Well, speaking of stupid ideas and stupid things happening coming months.
God,
let's talk.
You all suck at this. Okay?
Let's talk about.
Yeah.
No.
No, you're getting muted.
be muted.
Okay.
This
okay.
is tyranny. It's because I'm black.
It's because you're black.
It's because I'm black.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
go ahead.
Okay, I got this. All right, I am an absolute segue master.
I mean, you
Yes.
segue into your own thing.
Yeah. Well, that was. Speaking of something else, this Pride Month 2. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Gay month again.
Why did the gay people get 2 months? Not even our military get one. Our military did not get even 1 month.
I'm pretty sure
Why did they get 2?
Our military gets 2 days. Oh, no, vets get 2 days, but gay people get 2 months.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so, but this time we're not just pelvically thrusting into the faces of little kids to support our sexuality. No. Now, we're talking about the people of the past who did the same thing. October is LGBT History Month, a time dedicated to recognizing important moments in queer history. The pure irony of that entire statement being, it is LGBT, not LGBTQ, but it's queer history now because there needs to be a label that conveniently puts together all these different groups that have nothing to do with each other, but whatever. Well, I guess lesbian, gay, and bi are pretty similar, but not trans. Not fucking non-binary, genderqueer. Okay, so...
That's gonna be a short. Just you doing that.
Okay, so... so here's what Jack has to say. Twitter Jack. LGBTQ history... Oh, I guess it is a Q for Twitter, of course. LGBTQ History Month is an annual observance in October of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer history and the history of gay rights movements.
We should add art to that for.
Bro, I mean, that's assuming that they're separate. I mean.
Oh, you're right.
Like I would just call it the R History Month. But yeah, so yeah, no, this entire thing is it's pretty fucking stupid because a lot of people know October as the month of Halloween, but no, it is more gay.
It's more scary.
Oh my god, it's more scary. Liberals have found a way to make Halloween more scary. Oh my god, we did it.
Let's just mention something so we don't get fucking obliterated. We are obviously not against the gay community anyway.
I
so
mean,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm necessarily bi or gay, but I'm somewhere in between. So
yeah,
I'm technically part of this community, and I'm still shitting on them because fucking like Pride Month and modern day, like being part of the LGBT quote unquote community is just the most fucking toxic leftist purity spiral you can get nowadays, and it is just not worth your time. And this is coming from someone who's like, you know, actually technically part of this discussion, which I'm not normally allowed to say because I'm the evil. I'm an evil white guy. I'm an evil white guy. And I'm an oppressor. Nah,
Black lives only matter if they're Democrats. Come on,
bro.
Black lives matter only once every 4 years.
If you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black. If you don't vote for Kamala, and you ain't black. If you aren't voting for Hitler, and you ain't black. I mean, it's just that simple.
The irony of Kamala Harris, she was the deputy secretary in California. She put the most black children away for marijuana crimes. So yeah.
Great. Okay, but I believe we clowned on Kamala enough. Another episode. We talked about Kamala's history with not being so great to her own race. But anyways, yeah, let's talk more about Pride Month 2. God, why the fuck is this a thing? It was supposedly created in 1994, so this has been a thing for a little while, by a Missouri high school teacher. And National Coming Out Day is on October 11th. Why is it in June? What the bro?
Yeah, why isn't it June 1st? Like, that makes complete sense to me.
Bro, June 1st should be Gay Day. That would be so easy.
It would literally is the easiest thing ever, and I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd be like, okay, sure.
It would be so easy to just have one day, not a month, not 2 months, one day or people who were fucking like gay or lesbian or bi could just be horny on main, or trans people could, you know, like talk about their experiences, and then like that's it.
I wouldn't even mind it being on June 21st, which is sometimes the longest day of the year. Like, that makes complete sense to me. Just let's
Yeah,
make it
But
in
make
June.
it one day,
In
like,
June.
bro, and in June specifically, because, you know, the whole thing about Pride Month, I don't love it. I really don't. But if you're gonna make it Pride Month, at least keep it within the month. Why does it have to spill over into October? Oh, and by the way, there's this like image. We're gonna pull it up now, of LGBT Center New York City on Twitter posting for their website, and their poster is October is LGBT History Month, and their rainbow at the end, it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but then it's brown. The fuck? Why?
I think that's the trans.
No, it's not. It's like race.
Oh, okay, maybe.
And it's like, yeah, race has nothing to do with this shit. What are you doing?
Clowns.
Bro, I swear to God, all this fucking like rainbow flags, rainbow pins, fucking like rainbow clothing, all this fucking gay propaganda. Bro, I'm legit just showed up to a fucking Pride Month with a clown outfit, wearing the fucking rainbow clown wig, because that's what they fucking look like. They look like clowns. On God.
Yep.
Anyways, this is just like really like cringe in a like really weird way. They get 2 months, and you know, if you remember, back in June, they were talking about for 2021 making Pride Month every month, and obviously it was shut down. But I mean, if October can be LGBT History Month, who's to say that in a couple of years Pride Month won't be every month? Bro.
Fair enough.
I'm not even surprised if the, like, leftists literally just fucking turn the American flag into a pride flag with the stars instead of the red and white.
I mean, more like, have you seen some videos of people saying they identify with the LGBTQ flag more than they do with the American flag, which is just bonkers?
Okay, but then I gotta say, there is an absolutely golden tweet. That was a reply to the thing by LGBT Center in New York City. And we're not gonna expose the person who tweeted this, but I just want to like put this on air so everyone knows this person is absolutely base as fuck. They say, and by the way, this person is kind of a lefty as well, but still, he, I think, yeah, made a very based, very lucid point. As a gay person, comma, don't care it's spooky month. We win these. We win these.
Big brain language.
Big brain language. Okay, because this is what this is. All right. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. This is spooky month. This is time to be spooky and get spooked. This is spooky month, not fucking LGBT History Month. You have a month for that.
You know what I like about the reply? It's said in words that Joe Biden could definitely understand.
Right?
So it has a wide reach.
Very, very wide reach. But, I mean, you know, also it's sort of like an in-joke because, you know, spooky month, Serpello, funny. But anyways, bullshit. It's not LGBT History Month. It's Spooky Month. Let's go.
Poggers, my doggers.
What?
Let's just go past that.
Okay. Okay. So, anyways, that was a little nice, good, collection of brain rot. How about some more?
I mean, speaking of stealing,
Wait, what?
Stealing?
Yeah, I don't really get that.
Yo, bro.
the gay stealing a month, you know?
Bro, just
What?
leave the segues to me. You kind of suck at it. All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So, right. So.
But tell us in the comments if we're just wrong.
Yeah, obviously it's just two
We're
white
not
men
wrong.
against one brown man.
We're not
So
wrong.
comments,
We're not
please.
wrong.
help me. They
Bro.
have me in gunpoint,
Bro,
please. I'm all
post-
here for diversity.
Bro, post in the comments your thoughts. We will gladly argue with you about how you are completely wrong and tone deaf and wrong and horrible and wrong.
What are we to the left? Anyways, let's talk about Oregon.
Right, so the shit's going on in Oregon. KYKA, take it away.
Okay, so in Oregon and some parts of California, you can steal things that are under $750 and not be touched by employees. So we have a video to show you guys to prove our point.
Oh, God, I'm weak. Oh.
Yet another brazen shoplifting in California, where critics say a law that reduced penalties on theft have emboldened the bad guys, leaving store owners feeling it's not worth the risk to try to stop them. Check out the scene at a TJ Maxx, where some people just seem to help themselves to whatever they wanted.
Brazen shoplifters stroll out of a store carrying a giant bag apparently stuffed with stolen items, and they sure don't seem worried about getting into trouble. The first guy doesn't even wear a mask as he walks away with jeans still on the hangers. The second thief looks right into the camera as he casually leaves. Just look at the size of that bag. A customer follows the suspects out of the Los Angeles TJ Maxx store and posted the video on Instagram.
What's up, guys? I want to see how far you guys get.
The thieves got away.
They have no care in the world. They strolled out. They knew that they weren't going to get arrested.
The police sergeant says criminals are now emboldened because a recent law makes shoplifting less than $950 worth of goods a misdemeanor, not a felony.
These criminals, they go into the store, they probably have their calculator. Oh, I'll steal $850 worth of merchandise and nothing's going to happen to me. It is totally insane.
Shoplifting crimes like the one at this TJ Maxx are now a full-fledged epidemic, with 75% of retailers reporting an increase in organized thefts. Recently in San Francisco, thieves were caught on camera fleeing the high-end Neiman Marcus department store, their arms loaded with expensive designer handbags. Also in the Bay Area, stunned customers watch as a shoplifter stuffs a plastic bag filled with merchandise from a Walgreens drugstore. When the security guard tries to grab the bag, the thief escapes on his bike. At this Best Buy store in Houston, an employee grabs at a suspect's backpack that he says is loaded with stolen items. A tug of war ensues, past the doors, then outside.
I recognized a customer. He would go in every 3 to 5 days, grab a backpack off the shelf, fill it with video game consoles, and he would just walk out the door.
The Best Buy employee manages to wrestle away the bag. So was he treated as a hero? Nope, he says he was not. He tells Ann Mercogliano he was fired.
Are you shocked that you were trying to protect your store's merchandise and you wound up getting fired?
Yes, I was definitely shocked. I was upset. I've never been fired from a job.
California Governor Gavin Newsom just signed a law declaring organized retail theft a felony, but it's unclear how effective the law will be because it's still up to local prosecutors to decide whether to charge or not.
Fired from his job for trying to stop someone from stealing a bunch of shit. Bro, It doesn't get more clown world than this.
And by the way, this was in Houston, so it looks like it's spreading around the country at this point.
Oh, great. Just what we need.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know what else to add.
Well, okay,
maybe for those criminals out there, start taking calculators so you can just, put up the numbers, make sure you're not stealing anything over $750,
Yeah,
do some quick maths.
Yeah.
I wonder if the $750 includes sales tax.
Imagine if it did.
Bro, as soon as the government gets involved, real shit.
Dude, that's crazy.
Bro, okay, but I do want to mention this whole thing, has been prevalent before. In the start of the pandemic, actually, there were a couple examples of because of COVID restrictions, because nobody knew what to do. The limit was actually $1,000. If you stole from something under $1,000 from a store, you could literally just walk out. Again, Internet Story did a really good video on that, and we'll link it in the description. But seriously, this is just wow. Or organized theft. Funded by your tax dollars. Love to see it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about. We were talking about basically government incompetence. Now let's talk about government overconfidence. Australia.
Oh God.
Well, that's my favorite place.
Shit. Australia is so fucked.
It's out the wazoo, man. I swear.
Australia has been fucked for a little while, but now it's really bad.
I know. They're calling burritos kebabs. Like, can you believe them?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yup.
That's the issue. Like, not about, the cops stopping someone because they're not having a mask on just because they're being siggy. But, yeah.
Okay, so let's explain this a little bit. In Australia, this came out in a video, right? A man was outside, probably around 500 meters, which is about 1 block away from his house, smoking a cigarette and getting lunch with his friend while not wearing a mask. While no one was in his vicinity, the cops came to him, put him on the ground, and arrested him. So we are just, we're in clown world. And I'll put up the video now.
I literally am standing here eating my kebab. No, not all right. How are you meant to calm down when people are doing this?
No, we saw your friend up here earlier on. We've given him permission to move on, and he's returned. So.
He lives 500 metres that way.
Yeah, we told
when
him
you guys
to
are
go home,
that, it's going to be really awkward.
I'm not going to argue with you.
So what? Okay, can I ask what he's been arrested for? Watch me. Watch me what?
Let me come over here.
No, I'm fine here. Thank you. You can explain it here.
What's happened earlier on is we've seen your friend.
You've explained that. It's not necessary.
And we've given him a direction to move on.
I understand
and
that.
Not return.
He's not returning his own. He lives a block away.
Yeah, but he has no.
So what do you
reason,
mean?
He has no reason to be here. He doesn't have a valid reason to be out today. He wasn't wearing a face mask.
Hold on, he has a face mask in his pocket. He was just smoking a cigarette. He just came to get lunch with me.
Understand the whole picture anyway.
Oh, what do you mean? I've been living here this whole time. What do you mean?
Oh, can you record this, please? You're currently under arrest for breaching the chief health officer's.
I live with him. I live 200 metres up the road. We're all going for a walk. What do you mean? I've gone to meet my friends, which I told your friends
I
before.
literally have food in my hand.
Kebab and we're going for a walk. And the reason I didn't have a mask on because I was having a cigarette. I've got 2 masks in my pocket. Like, what else do you want me to do?
No, he was spreading COVID.
Yeah, dude, while no one was around.
Yep. Yeah, of course. And then, of course, it was the Australian police's duty, really, to harass and assault him, get him on the ground, put him in handcuffs, and get all up near him, considering, how much of a risk he is for COVID. But, I mean, they were wearing face shields. So, obviously, the arm of the state, the police, are completely immune to catching viruses. Of course.
Yep. And something even more insane from Australia is that they're pushing for a bill that basically says if you don't show them your phone or if you don't give them access to your phone, you can get up to 10 years in prison. Which is just great in every single way possible.
There goes our privacy. Maybe we should get what was that phone called? The America phone?
The
whatever.
Freedom
The
phone.
Freedom
The Freedom phone.
Okay, the Freedom phone was still shit. But, I mean, if you're in Australia, maybe it's worth it. I don't know.
Invest.
I mean,
like
it
Bitcoin,
wouldn't
it
make a difference. It wouldn't make a difference. They'll still go through your phone.
Yeah, they'd still give you 10 years if you don't obey.
What if you give them your trap phone? Then you'll be...
Oh, yeah. Give him
good
the
point.
burner phone.
The burner phone with all the drug deals and everything.
Yeah. Real game.
That's a smart one right there.
Gaming. But yeah, so 10 years in prison if you do not unlock your phone. And if you dare take off your mask for even a tiny bit, even in a non-populated place, jail. Well, I don't know if it's jail now, but it's gonna be jail soon. Nah, Australia's fucked. Okay, so there's another thing. Police were running in the streets and asking people their opinions on COVID policies, and if they gave the quote-unquote wrong answer, they'd be assaulted and put in handcuffs. It's not even about what you were doing, it's about what you're thinking. That's just straight up Thought Police 1984. Australia, and I know this is kind of a meme, but I'm being serious. Australia is literally 1984.
God. All we need is that Trump accent.
If only.
If only.
But yeah, so Australia's fucked, and this is this actually sort of leads into our final send off. I know we've been ranting about a lot of disconnected things, but I do promise it does have a point, and that is, I know that this episode was a little weird. There were a lot of random pauses and cuts, and it doesn't seem to be as fresh as our videos usually are. And there's a reason for that. About a week ago, and this is the first time this has ever happened, we were recording this episode, SoL 20.
Yep.
And this was before October. This was before the whole fucking Pride Month 2 thing. But, you know, we had a lot of our topics, and we spent a long time recording that video. It wasn't perfect, but it was really good. And then my computer broke. Like, it just straight up crashed. It didn't blue screen, but it was completely unresponsive, and the video was corrupted. We had to completely restart, and this is our second take. And this entire process that we've been doing of basically doing the same episode over again for an hour and a half, you know, this really does suck. It really does put a hamper on our message. And, of course, it was 99.99999% and likely that was an accident. But what if it wasn't? Just humor me for a second. Nowadays, with authoritarianism and corporations and governments working together for a leftist agenda to silence the common man because they do not push towards their utopian idealism, you can never really be sure that what you're doing is safe from being spied on or being influenced. That the normal crash of your computer wasn't orchestrated somehow. Obviously, that's a little bit conspiracy theory-y, but seriously, it's possible. If you have a program, and that program is tied to a company, and that company is known for, or just is able to do very well, secretly, the tampering of people's machines, like, for example, and I'm not saying that this company does it, but they would theoretically have the ability to, if they wanted to. Like Valorant's anti-cheat is so deep that it literally starts before your computer does. And that kind of technology, the technology to completely impede on your personal space in your computer that's a problem. That's a serious problem, and it gives these kind of companies and governments a window into essentially your private life online. And honestly, that life is only going to increase as technology expands. And as companies and countries get more and more authoritarian and more focused on thought policing, if you maybe say something that people don't like, or that the government doesn't like, maybe you'd see men at your door. Maybe you'd see your machine just randomly brick for some reason. Or maybe you'd see what was originally a hacker, but ends up actually being a government plant to stop you from speaking your message. There's a lot of ways to censor people, but it always boils down to the original point. This starts from people giving the government an edge, giving these corporations an edge to tyrannize upon you because you let your freedoms become secondary for safety. Those who would rather trade their freedom for safety, in the words of, I believe, George Washington, deserve neither and will lose both. And that's what we're seeing in a lot of parts of the world. It's what we've been talking about today, but it's really one of the main points of our entire channel. The shit going on in Australia is a perfect example. They're just a little few steps ahead. People are going to start being tyrannized in the streets with this fucking COVID excuse. But eventually, COVID isn't going to matter. It's not going to be about stopping the virus. It's going to be about stopping misinformation. It's going to be being about stopping wrongthink. It's the shit the leftists have been peddling for years. And something must be done about it. Seriously. Unless you want to be tyrannized upon, Unless you want to be forced into speaking something that you don't believe, and then being forced to believe it because you say it for so much that you forget what you actually believe, then, well, something has to be done. I'm not calling for a civil war, necessarily. I'm not calling for a revolution, because I'm not a fucking leftist. But something has to be done for individual citizens valuing their freedom and their liberty over the House. Because the House always wins. And the truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense, we need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.